Alright guys, you can see I got a new monitor for this. I got this from Savers. This is the one that actually has USB ports on the side, so that's why you see this one coming out of the bottom, coming out of the monitor right here. And that's because I have the cable plugged into the bottom of this, so you can see the cable's coming out of it. And the cable, and I use the USB cable for my USB dock. You can see that right there. Plugged into a spare USB 3 port. A spare USB 3 port on here. I still got another USB 3 port that I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with. But this at least bridges it into 4. So 2 will be used for my mouse and keyboard. And then 2 will be used for whatever stuff I also have. Because you see, it's got USB ports on the side as well. So I could also plug this Wi-Fi adapter in the back, although I don't know what I really find use for. I can plug it in the back. And if we go over to here, we will have Wi-Fi networks because I have downloaded the drivers for it. So you can see, so this strong signal is actually from my Wi-Fi router and one of my Wi-Fi repeaters that I just got. And this one here is specifically for my Ring devices at the front door, and this one here is just for the other room. The reason I have these labeled like this is to prevent interference, because when you have these with the same name, all of them with it caused the slowdown, as I noticed. So don't do that, or else it causes slowdowns. But just having one extender having the same name for repeat mode is fine. And this monitor is a lot more colorful. I use the same power cable that came from this monitor here. So in this monitor here, it has the same power supply. The only difference with this one is that it has VGA and HDMI. Whereas this one here, believe it or not, is DisplayPort. So I'm actually using one DisplayPort cable. If you look there, if I move it here, right there, that's the DisplayPort cable that I have feeding right there. A full DisplayPort cable. So I don't have to use the. So So before I got this monitor for this, I was using this cable that converts DisplayPort to HDMI. Now, while that does technically work, it's best to have full DisplayPort, because full DisplayPort can support up to 8K as well as HDMI. HDMI has an audio return channel, but this one does not support that because it's DisplayPort to HDMI, and does not support the other way around as well. Because the only way it will support the other way around if it's an active adapter. This is a passive adapter, so it only works one way. So make that well. So you can see DisplayPort is this port right here. You can see it's fairly different than the HDMI cable that we are familiar with. And this one does have a clip. The one I have plugged in does not have a clip, so I can just yank it out because there's no retention clip. But when it has a retention clip, you push this in to remove it. So and this, great! I think I just damaged it now. This one only has VGA and HDMI, so I had to use that cable for it. And it was the same for my other monitor before I placed it to this one that it had the HDMI and the VGA. So it was a bit unfortunate because I had to use the adapter cable down there. Jesus, heavy. But since this Dell PC has DisplayPort purely on the PC, I want to make it DisplayPort. I want to use DisplayPort primarily. I did not mean to click print screen. Wow, escape doesn't even work. Close. This one is actually, if I turn it this side, it's actually mounted here instead of here, like on this monitor. So slightly better. And this one can go up higher, which I do technically like higher monitors like this, is because it makes, at least it makes room for these speakers that I have sideways. I don't really have them vertical because like they can collide with this if I rotate it. So I normally try to keep it like this, and it's with that I can simply lay it down. I can just simply push it down slightly, and then you can actually see it almost looks like the monitor actually has speakers, but the speakers are connected to the PC and not the monitor. This monitor does not have audio out. Let me push this back up. It's hard to do with one hand. I did notice there's a cable out port here, but I did not notice that actually. I should have put cables out of that, but oh well. It is what it is. This. When I found this monitor in Sabres, I honestly thought that this would be smashed because this is a very modern monitor. But when I plugged it in, I saw the Dell logo and nothing wrong with the display. I was like, why did they donate it? But then again, I did see there was a sticker right here that I peeled off that says, do not remove due to company policy. So this monitor might have been originally in a company. And then I guess they decided to donate to Sabres because probably didn't need it or something. I don't know, but this is a very modern monitor. That was a really good brand. And there's no ghosting, surprisingly. So since there's no ghosting, I don't feel the need to do the LCD conditioning. Because I don't think this was used in the library. If it was used in the library, then you would see a lot of ghosting because the monitor is left on, not turned off. Ooh. I think this is actually the default brightness here. Let's back out. Let me go ahead and factory reset the monitor. I always do this. And yes, because it's a used monitor. Now let's see the menu. Okay, let's go back up. Yeah, so that's just the factory default configuration. So I will just go ahead and set the brightness up. That looks a lot better. And see, look, the input switch here, you see DP is checked. So it auto selects on. And since I factory reset it, now the light will always stay active when the monitor is displaying something. So and that's default as well. So I go down here, you see the aspect ratio, which is this. And the sharpness I will probably leave. I'm not gonna fumble with it because it's fine where it is. So, and I think the rotation is, if you have the monitor like, I think the rotation is there if you have the monitor like this. I forgot that happens. So I think that rotation thing is if you have it like this. It makes sense to rotate it, but I'm gonna put this back up normally. So, alright, there we go. Back to normal. It's slightly offset, but this thing can go into the landscape mode, not just portrait mode. So let's go back on here. So besides that, if we go down to personalize, you see power button by default is on doing active. On my 4K Dell monitor, it's actually off doing active. So I changed it. Now LCD conditioning, I'll show you what that does. If you go ahead and turn it on, this happens. So you gotta make sure your PC is set. So your PC sleep mode is disabled when you do this. But what this does is it just switches between colors instantly and alleviates any stuck pixels. And if you think you're happy with it, you click this and see the results. So yeah. So this is probably one of the best monitors I have for this PC, and it's paired because this is a Dell monitor and this is a Dell PC, Optix 7060 to be exact. I will plan to get a graphics card for this, but I will have to save up money for that. But for now, I'm gonna be using the inbuilt graphics, which is just inbuilt to Intel. The ones that this one supports is I think a GTX 1060, I don't remember, but and then a Radeon 570, I think. As long as the card can fit, and it doesn't require an external power supply, it should be fine. It should be within the PC's power supply's rating. Because normally if the graphics card just get power from the PCIe slots that are on it, then yeah, it was supported. But with this monitor, it is actually a little bit, it's actually a lot more clear from the looks of it. So, and now I'm fully using DisplayPort on this monitor. Then then the DisplayPort to HDMI. Okay, what I use with this one. Hope you guys enjoyed.